Hello everybody, and welcome to week 42, I think 42? 48, right? 49? Whatever week it is. Welcome to the week in review video thing that I do on this channel. Teaching myself how to draw. You know the deal by now, right? We'll start by looking at my figures. I've been using this brush. I think this is my second week with this one, and I love it. I'll be honest. Like, I've tried a bunch of different brushes, like some stuff like this kind of pencil-y crayon thing. I've done stuff like this, where it's kind of like a marker some way. Stuff like this. I think the best one is just this. Just like a standard, no additional information given. It's just a round, no anti-aliasing circle, right? It's like my favorite. I don't know what it is, but it's like, it's so bare bones that I can just kind of do what I need to do, you know what I mean? And it's weird, it kind of, I find myself thinking in terms of cross contour when I use this brush. I don't know if it's just a time thing or if it's when I use this brush, but like, for example, this leg, when I drew it, I was probably thinking about these lines as well. You can see me drawing them in all the time when I have spare time. Even like just throwing one up here, or one down here, right? I don't always do them, but for some reason this brush, I feel like it's helping me think in 3D more like that. Like this sort of thing, right? Or like this kind of bend in the spine here. It's still really hard, but there's something about the simplicity of this brush it makes it more accessible to me. I don't know why. But I like it. I like it a lot. I find my results are pretty good this week. I'm pretty happy with them. And I don't really know what's changed aside from the brush, right? So I'll just say it's that, right? Yeah, a lot of these are really cool. I have noticed I'm doing the head. I'm starting with the head, right? I think I might have mentioned last week. When I start with the head, I usually do it a little small. So I'm trying to keep in mind that happens, and I'm trying to add like maybe 10 or 20% volume to the head right at the very beginning. You know, like I might start with a circle like this big or whatever, and then I go like, hang on, let's make it a little bigger. And so my heads are feeling a little more uniform, I think, in terms of proportion. You know, like this might be a little too big with the jaw down here, but right, they're feeling correct in size. Usually I compare to the torso. I want the torso to be a little more volume than the head, right? That's usually how I compare, but like if you look at this one, it feels a little small, right? It might just be the angle of this back. But yeah, there's not really anything else I'm really focusing on at the moment. I'm also really noticing that this is something I've noticed for a while, but see if there are any good examples. Drawing the leg from like underneath, legs from underneath, low angle legs, I find I have the tendency to make them a little thin. Like you could see there's like 2 or 3 lines, maybe even one here, where I'm trying to find the right width for this thigh. I find it really difficult when I'm drawing from below. Maybe like this kind of thing as well. There was one today. Let's see if I can get to that. This is yesterday's. Take a quick look here. You know, like this sort of thing, right? I'm still struggling with connecting the legs underneath. That's been a big struggle for a long time. Maybe I should like practice it or something, you know? Where was it? This one was today's. There was one in particular. Maybe I'm crazy. I think it was maybe this one. I don't know. But I find sometimes I'll do the legs too small, and I'm wondering if that's an optical illusion, because in general, I find I do my legs too big, unless I'm focused. You know, if I'm just kind of turning my brain off and doodling, my legs will wind up a little too big, right? Like this line, you can see how it's like kind of encroaching a little too far to the left over here. Makes the thigh a little too big. I do that a lot, and I also make the actual length of the legs too long. Those are like the two errors I make when I'm not really paying attention, when I'm not focused. Combine that with like drawing from below, and I don't know, legs are just difficult. But it's something I've known for a while. So I'm kind of like, I'm keeping it in my brain a little more so that I can stay focused and do more properly proportioned legs. As long as I stay focused, I think it's okay. I think that's why I haven't really practiced them in depth too much, the legs, because I feel like all I really need to do is pay attention. You know? Anyway, that'll be it for my figures. Let's look at what I drew this week. So I did some Korone fan art. For the prompt word this week was canine. So I was like, I don't know, I'll draw Korone, right? And let's see, it took me 5 days here. So this is day 1. I usually don't I don't like adding color on day 1. It kind of makes me feel like I'm what would you say? Like I've done a little too much. But there's kind of a lot of information in this drawing that's not visible just with the final product. I tried a number of different poses, and I wound up kind of moving this bat a lot. Like originally it was up, and originally it might have been over here, or something like that. I was moving it around. So this day was a lot of composition stuff, and I really like the idea of kind of stepping. I had the idea of doing like a playing card or something, like an illustration on a playing card, and kind of stepping kind of through like the border of that card into, you know, making something kind of 3D looking. But this is how it looked on day 1 at least. Let's look at day 2. I didn't really change anything, just cleaned it up a little. This was really fun doing this thing. I don't know, this bottle. I'm finding more fun drawing like objects, because usually I just draw figures and like clothing, but like drawing like bottles and like belt buckles and things like this, shoelaces, I find really fun. Just as a random aside, day 3 here. So you can see I changed it from this triangle thing down in the bottom and in the top. I gave it like a border, like a frame instead. And you can see how there's like some parts are coming out of the frame. I thought that was a cool idea. And then stepping out. It still looks a little off to me though, right? On this day it looked a little off, and so I was like, I don't know. I wound up fixing it up a little more the next day too. I like these eyes, the way I did them. I like keeping my eyes very simple, not like overdoing them. I think they turned out really nice. And like the expression, I think it's pretty cool. The clothing was really hard though, eh? You can see my lines are really rough. I usually do one more pass of the lines. Like I usually will do a rough sketch like this, and then clean it up. But you can see I'm still using those cleaned up lines. I didn't do another pass for the line art. Usually I do. So that's why it's a little more rough than usual. And then the next day, oh, I just added shadows. So not a whole lot of changes. Looks pretty cool though. I like this stuff in here. It was a lot of fun. Over here as well. You can barely even see my highlighter. And the hair. I think the hair looks good. It looks kind of like thick, you know, and like in the way, you know. And then here's the final day. So you can see I kind of brought everything in and added the playing card kind of idea. So you could see the border, I bring it in about here. I just felt like there was too much open air over here, right? And I didn't feel like there was a need. Like if the idea is like some parts are kind of overlapping the border, I didn't feel a need to have all this stuff visible over here. So I just kind of brought it in. And I brought the arm and the bat kind of out. It's almost like she's kind of stepping forward and this is kind of behind, you know? I don't know, it's hard to explain. I don't know if it really makes sense. Like maybe if some other parts should be in the background. I don't really know. But either way, I'm pretty happy with this. I think it looks cool. I gave it a little bit of texture too. You can see in here. Just a little bit. Rather than just completely flat, right? Just a bit of texture. Kind of all around. Looks like a playing card or something. was pretty fun. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about this, do I? Not really. It was fun. The end. So there you go. That's my weekend review. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week with another one. Hey, I think next week is 50, 49 or 50. I don't remember. Getting close to 1 year, so that's exciting. Thanks again, and I'll catch you next time. Hey, cut.